Welcome back to CBS This Morning, Saturday. On this 20th anniversary of the attacks of 9/11, the events of that day that led to the U.S. war in Afghanistan, dubbed America's longest war, which only came to an end just last month. The campaign was part of the so-called War on Terror, fought not just in Afghanistan, but worldwide. And one decorated commander, a former head of special operations, was involved in key developments all along the way. CBS News senior investigative correspondent Catherine Herridge spoke with him ahead of the anniversary.
At Ground Zero,
I can hear you!
in what has become an iconic moment, then President George W. Bush made a promise that would soon unleash U.S. military might on al-Qaeda and the Taliban.
And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
How did 9/11 change the course of your career?
Oh, dramatically.
Retired four-star General Tony Thomas and former head of Special Operations has served in Afghanistan almost every year since the attacks. When he got there in December 2001, Thomas and his team settled into Bagram Air Base, where they wanted to raise the American flag. But Pentagon leadership told them,
We aren't staying, we aren't occupying, and we aren't nation building. And then we proceeded to do all the above.
Meanwhile, al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden quickly slipped through the rugged mountains of Tora Bora into neighboring Pakistan. And with him, the radical ideology that spawned a network of global terror franchises.
How much of a threat was Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, the leader of al-Qaeda in Iraq?
Huge, and arguably one that we didn't discern early on.
Another example of how the threat metastasized after 9/11.
Absolutely, yeah, because that wasn't resident in Iraq when we first got there.
The mission prevented another 9/11, but there were close calls. The 2009 underwear bomb that nearly brought down a jet over Detroit, and the following year, a car bomb that failed to explode in New York's Times Square.
And the ideology was strong and intent on conducting additional attacks against the United States and our allies.
10 years into the war on terror, Thomas played a key role in the raid that killed bin Laden.
General, what's it like to walk into the Situation Room and brief the president?
It's a pretty profound event.
Synced in electronically with the White House Situation Room as then President Obama and his team watched the elite Navy SEALs clear the target, this heavily fortified compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan.
Well, the Commander Ford in Pakistan on the satellite radio made the call for God and country, Geronimo, 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 which was our call sign or our code word for we got him.
Was the death of Osama bin Laden an inflection point in the war on terror?
It absolutely was. So important to get the leader, but we still had a lot of work left to do.
3 years later in Syria, ISIS terrorists held Americans hostage, including journalist and an aid worker, Kayla Mueller. None in the group would survive. Thomas recounts how close special operators came to freeing them.
The Kayla Mueller episode would be the low point. Again, I think there was one or two other American hostages that we thought were being held. We conducted a raid and discovered that they had just moved.
Those losses stay with Thomas. He shared the story of a 27-year-old special operations engineer, Aaron Rhett Butler, killed in Afghanistan by a crude bomb.
But I'll never forget the mother, because as I met her and expressed my condolences to her, she gripped my hand as if she wasn't going to let me go. And she said, General, stay on this and finish it.
We spoke with Thomas before 13 service members died while evacuating Americans and Afghans from the Kabul airport. Even then, Thomas feared the ungoverned space.
We have now given up an area of prime access and intelligence in Afghanistan, and we've maybe emboldened some adversaries, and the future will determine how safe we actually are.
Only in recent years has the 9/11 story come full circle for Thomas.
I don't think I physically got to New York and what I consider to be hallowed ground until about the 2014, 2015 timeframe. Again, remember, just a rush of emotion. This is where it all began.
For CBS This Morning Saturday, Catherine Herridge, Washington.
And it's that mother's concern, that service member's mother's concern is what you think of now that we are out of Afghanistan. So many who gave their lives.
And remember, it's hard, we can say it's hard to believe it's been 20 years, but for those who lost loved ones, it's every day.
Mm-hmm.